Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan and I'm a Namibian YouTuber. So if you're coming here for the first time, please go down below, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time that I post something. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about marriage. So I'm going to react to who's this lady, Sirkka or Vida on Facebook. She's, to those of you who don't know her, she says she's a public figure. She gives these talks on Facebook. She talks on she gives advice on relationship, on people being happy. I mean, she's trying to hype people up, and of course I agree with a lot of things that she say, but maybe I just have a small disagreement. Like, let's just agree to disagree about the way she delivers. So I'm trying to, I think of myself as a matured person, and I would want you to be mature about this. So if you feel like I'm saying something that you don't agree with, comment down below. I'm leaving the comments open because I'm expecting you to be matured enough to be able to communicate and to be able to air your views without insulting, because that's what happened last night. I got insulted. I got called stupid. Of course, it's what they say about truth hurts is true, because you only get hurt if you know something is true. So I didn't really get hurt that I was called stupid, because I know I'm not stupid. Of course, I'm not stupid. Anyways, first, I'm going to give you the points that she made in the videos. Of course, I was able to still watch her videos even after she blocked me. I was still able to watch her view. I couldn't just see the comments. And of course, I saw that there were some people who agreed with me. So what happened is that she went live talking about marriage, giving marriage advice, and most of the things I agreed with, some I didn't. And then I just commented like, what you're saying is true, but it's just hard for me to accept advice, or to accept marriage advice coming from an unmarried person or somebody who was never married before. That's all I said. So she went like straight in the lens. So listen here, you Susan Soho, or whatever your name is. Actually, it's Son. I don't know why it's hard to say if you say John and you just replace the J with an S. Anyways, she went straight into the lens and talked to me or schooled me about how she gave advice to married people, and how marriage, how she can give me advice in my marriage, and how marriage is just a piece of paper, and that she also schooled me on how the, what is it, she said that a teacher taught a doctor. Like, and she's calling me stupid in the process when she's telling me like a teacher taught the doctor. Like, you can't, so she's trying to say she can advise married people even when she's not, because the teacher also taught a doctor. So now I'm just going to give you the rest of the points that she made, and then I'm going to give you my unpopular opinions about this. I have some crazy opinions, I know. Anyways, she said marriage is just a paper. That's one point she made. She said our men, our husbands would want her, our husbands would leave us for her because we don't take care of ourselves. We are not happy. We don't take care of ourselves. So our men would want her. So she said also that she would marry anyone she wants. So I'll get married to anyone I want. I would get, yeah. So she said that. And she also saying settling for one thing that doesn't satisfy you. I think she means in the pants. Like, when you're getting married, you settle for that one thing that doesn't satisfy you. She said that. She said that. I didn't. She did. She said also, she talked about how couples sleeping in the same room, couples sleeping in different rooms, like, oh, you might even be at home and you're sleeping in different rooms. Okay, let's start talking. Let's start talking. One thing, I like her points. Some of her points I like, but the way she delivers is so bad that she's a bully. Sirkka is a bully. You can't try to advise someone while at the same time you're laughing at them. I'm being judgy right now. Oh, I feel myself being judgy. It's needed. It's needed right now. You can't judge, or you can't advise someone at the same time judging them or laughing at them. you can't just go like, you shouldn't. Oh, I'm gonna tell you about this later. Anyways, so I just commented about that. I can't take advice from a non-married person. I can't take marriage advice from that. And she said a teacher taught a pilot. Do you hear yourself? A teacher taught a pilot. A teacher taught geography, taught history, taught whatever, science. But did the teacher teach the pilot how to fly a plane? Did the teacher teach a doctor how to operate? No, a surgeon did that. A doctor teaches the doctor, or somebody above teaches that person. The person above gives below. Above, below. Marriage, you can't be here. You've never been married. You don't know what hardship people go through in their marriages. You've never been in a position to compromise, to sacrifice, to be committed. You can't advise somebody who's here, who made that decision. So that's just what I was trying to say. So if you're not married, you've never been married, it's hard for me to take a marriage advice. I'm not saying I'm not taking relationship advice from you. Of course, I'll take relationship advice from you, but I'll never take marriage advice from you. So even right now, if I have a marriage problem, maybe I'll ask some of my friends who are married and those who have been married for longer than me. When I want advice on marriage, I'll ask people who have been married, who know what I'm going through, who know how to handle what I'm going through. So marriage, you can't give advice to somebody. Plus, she said, I can come to your marriage and advise you. You only advise people who want to be advised, honey. Like, if there's nothing wrong, if they don't want advice, how are you going to advise them? Of course, there are points you make that are true, but the way you deliver them and you generalize, I feel like marriage relationships are unique. What you know is not what is going on in the other relationship. And this brings me to the next in the next topic, when she said marriage is just a paper. Marriage is just not okay. Marriage is just a paper. Marriage is not a paper. Marriage is on a paper. It's signed on a paper, but marriage is not just a paper. You know, first I'll talk about it in a legal way. When your husband, or let me say you're not married, when your boyfriend had an accident, his parents are the one to make a decision for him, what's good for him, because they are the next of kin, not you. So their parents are gonna make a decision that will impact your life. And what will you do? You might even just leave. In a marriage, you have that next of kin. You are the next of kin. You make that decision. Oh, you can operate on him. I will sign for you to operate on him, or I will not, because I know he's my person and he knows me well. He puts me as the next of kin because he knows that I'll make the best decision for him, because I love him and he knows that I have a life with him. Anyways, that was just me trying to be legal. I don't know if I'm even legal. Anyways, the other thing is commitment. Commitment. Marriage is telling the other person, making a promise that I'll be there. I know your faults, but I'm willing to go through them together. I'm willing to look past them and have a future with you. You know, there is so much commitment. I know there are some relationships that can compare to marriage, but it's easy for you to walk out of a relationship than walking out of a marriage. Because marriage, people, no matter how much people think that marriage is a fairy tale or something, marriage we choose to be in. It's a choice. You love, but love is not what's keeping you in the marriage. Of course, it's part of it, but you choose all the time. You choose all over. You tell that person like, oh, I'm willing to go through this harsh words together. Of course, I don't want to go through them, but I'm willing to go through them with you. I choose you. You're my person. Whatever you're going through, I'll be there. I make this promise to have your back. In marriage, you go through things together. How many of the women have you known that left their men after they lost their job, or divorced their men just because they lost their jobs? Not so many. I dare you to give me 50 from your community. It's hard for a woman to walk away in a marriage, but when you're in a relationship, it's easier for you just to ghost that person because they lost their job. There is just so much, there's a different level of commitment in marriage that you wouldn't understand unless you're married. So that's just what I'm trying to say. Marriage is just not a paper. There's so much commitment going on in marriage. You fight, you argue, you don't like each other today, and then you like each other today, and whatever argument you go through, you know that we are gonna go through, we're gonna pass this phase, and we're gonna be happy again, because this is just an obstacle. It's not like something that will really like blow up our whole relationship. So it's taking chances. It's just listening to each other, being committed, finding love, and sacrificing a lot for that person. Of course, the other point, she said she knows a lot of people who are going through marriage thingies and whatnot. One thing I know is that if I have a marriage problem, I will not go to an unmarried person, or I wouldn't even go to somebody who would laugh and talk, mock people like, ha, you know, like, ha, and you're not happy. But of course, why would you want somebody to be happy all the time? Not if no person is happy all the time. Even the laughs that you're giving, like I can be laughing all over here, but I'm not happy. I'm just putting it on top. It's like an icing on top because I want to make people think that I'm happy when I'm not happy. Next point, she said our men would want her. Nope, mine won't. One thing people don't realize is that men don't fall in love with you because of how you look. Of course, there are those shallow ones who just want to fall in love with you because of how you look, and those are easily the one that will go cheat, because when you don't look the same way you looked yesterday, then they're gonna leave. There are men who just fall in love with you because of your heart, because of your brain, because of your whole demeanor, because you're just a good person, and that's who they want to keep around. So nope, my men won't want you. Yeah, I sound so bitter. Why do people beat them? Why do people beat other people to their level? Did I fall? Anyways, she said she would marry anyone she wants. I would marry anyone I want. No, you won't. No, you won't. You won't marry anyone you want. A person has to want, have to want to marry you first. Also, not first, but they also need to want to marry you in order for you to marry them. So you can't just marry anyone you want unless they want you. Of course, I understand you're saying it on this point that if somebody, you received a lot of offers from people who would have wanted to marry you. She said, okay, anyways, she might not even watch this. I don't know. She might. I don't know. Anyways, she said she could have got married at 16 if she wanted. Okay, would she be in that same relationship right now, or in marriage right now if she did? Marriage is work, and no matter how much we try to laugh at people about what's going on in their marriages, we'll never understand that fully, that whole situation. That brings me to the next point, where she said we are settling for those things that doesn't satisfy us. I think she's talking about the pens, like you're settling for that dingly that doesn't satisfy you. Why would you, like when you're getting married and you're settling for one person? That's what she means, and that person and that thing that doesn't satisfy you. Why should you get married to someone who doesn't satisfy you? That's something you already look at before you get married. So why would you get married to someone who doesn't satisfy you? Those are the requisites you have. That's why marriage is special. That's why marriage is different. Marriage means I saw your thingy and it's too small, but I'm willing to look over that and be with you because it's not that important, or your game is weak, but I'm willing to sit with you and, you know, work through that. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't. It's a commitment. It's a choice we make, and we go to the next step, like forever and always. Of course, not all marriages last forever, like all the other relationships. Things break down, but marriage is special, is sacred, is different, and you wouldn't understand unless you're married to a person you love and you're committed to. Love in itself is not enough. There should be commitment. There should be things you're going through, like when you're going through stuff, you cry together, and that load become even lighter because you have someone you share it with. You argue and you come out of that argument even stronger. Like you argue about something and then you give your views and your person give their views, and then you put them together, and then you build a stronger foundation. Not even foundation, it's a building now. You already have a foundation. Anyways, she also at the end there tried to laugh like like you might be sleeping in different rooms right now. Is that a problem? Relationships are different. There are some people who go through, who solve their relationships this way. There are people who solve their relationship this ways. So if I need to go sleep in a different room for us to preserve the longer lasting thing, you know, the marriage. If I need to go sleep in a different room so we preserve our marriage, then let it be. Just like a relationship, you take those, when you're married, you look at a longer point. You look at a the long term. You look at a long-term life, not just what's happening now. If you argue today, does that argument really change anything? It doesn't. You've already committed to each other. All you need to do is just work and solve that situation, but marriage will still be there. But when you're not married, it's easily to walk away. So let's just not say marriage is a piece of paper. Marriage is on a paper, but it's not just that. It's a commitment. It's vows. You vow to drink cheap wine. You vow to sit on the couch and do nothing. And she laughs like, oh, your husbands will leave us. They will leave you. They will leave you for me, for us, because if you don't dress nice, if you don't look nice and all that. No, they won't. Marriage means comfort. This is what people also judge. People who are outside the marriage, they judge. If you're comfortable in your marriage and you want to look good, go ahead. Some of the people like me, I dress for comfort. I should be comfortable when I'm dressed. I should be comfortable. I don't dress to impress. I just dress to feel comfortable. But if I wake up and I just want to wear my pajamas the whole day and my face like this, no makeup and all that, I would do that because my husband knows me and he still doesn't care. If he wanted to go for looks, he could have come for me when I was looking good. But when there are husbands who met their wives and they don't even care really much. Of course, you make good points that ladies should shower. Shower is very important. You should just shower. But there are times where you also, like, your armpit stinks, but your partner still choose you even when your armpit stinks, because they love you and they are committed and they have long-term goals for you or with you. They're just not in for the temporal thing. Looks fade. Of course, like I look good and blah blah blah. Of course, you can do that, but don't laugh at people who don't look that way. Don't judge when you don't know what's going on inside. You know, you can't tell people, no, don't just nag. Like when the guy is coming home, you don't nag. If he gives me a reason to nag, I would nag his ass. I will nag. But if he's a good person, then why would I nag? People just complain. Ladies complain when they were given a reason to complain. Then same as guys. Of course, there are guys who are being mistreated by ladies and all that, but that's a topic of another day. So marriage is just not a piece of paper. And if you feel that way, I feel like, okay, so she has a good message. She has good messages. I just disagree with the way she delivers them. She laughs at people. In my tribe, when you laugh like that, you can't just laugh like that. Of course you laugh. Of course you laugh telling people to convince people you're happy, but laughing doesn't mean you're happy. Am I happy? No, I'm not. Anyways, if you're married, if you want to listen to her, go ahead, listen to her. But I would say listen to somebody who knows what marriage is, somebody who have been through what you're going through, or somebody who have walked in your shoes. If I'm going through a relationship problem, I would want to get advice from somebody who have gone through the same thing. If they were in abusive relationship, I would want to know how they overcame it. And if they were in relationship where the spouse was selfish or something, I would want to know how they resolved that. But like she said, oh, nobody can control me, I can do whatever I want, I don't have to settle for one thing for the rest of my life. I'm not married because she said she's not married because she knows how marriage is. How do you know? You've never been married. You can't know something unless you've gone through it. Anyways, you're free to give your views in the comment section. I'll leave it open. And if you have anything that you don't agree with that I've said, I'm just human also. But the good thing about me, or I'll try to think it's a good thing, is that I allow people to express what they think. I allow people to express what their views are, and then I'll look at them from their perspectives. I don't just insult people, call them stupid, and block them. Bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe. If you liked this talk, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that every time that I post something, you'll be notified and you'll be happy. Just kidding. I don't know why I did that. I love you guys. Bye-bye.